Orlando Brown Jr. expects to be ready to go this Sunday against the 49ers. Mike Petraglia outside Paycor Stadium. Bengals were back at it here on Monday afternoon inside Paycor Stadium. Their first practice getting ready for Nick Bosa and the San Francisco 49ers Sunday at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The Bengals will hopefully have their starting left tackle, Orlando Brown Jr., ready to go. He had to leave the game, the win against the Seattle Seahawks here at Paycor 2 weeks ago, due to a re-aggravation of a groin problem that initially cropped up in the blowout loss at Tennessee. Orlando Brown Jr. telling us here on Monday he expects to be ready to go on Sunday for that game. He is very hopeful to be able to participate in practice following the day off on Tuesday and practice on Wednesday and then test it Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How will Zach Taylor and the coaching staff and the training staff play it? Well, that remains to be seen. Of course, with an injury, a soft tissue injury like a groin problem, they'll want to be certainly playing it safe rather than sorry and not trying to push him too hard in the practice. They need him at full strength or close to full strength to handle one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League, and that would be Nick Bosa. Of course, Orlando Brown Jr. has experience playing not only Nick Bosa, but of course his older brother Joey with the LA Chargers, the two of those, of course, division rivals in the AFC West for the last several seasons. But if the Bengals are able to have close to 100% Orlando Brown Jr. on Sunday, that should give Joe Burrow a little bit more time to do his creative mastery in the pocket. And the Bengals are going to need close to a full 100% Joe Burrow offensive line. They need all of their offensive cylinders clicking on Sunday at Levi Stadium to keep up with one of the best offenses, of course, in the San Francisco 49ers. You're talking about Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, and Brandon Ayuk. It is an offense that can beat you in many different ways. Zach Taylor is saying here on Monday that, look, this is a team that has been in championship environments for the last several years. They're one of the best all-around teams and have been for the last 3 or 4 seasons. We know that. But Zach Taylor also had a message here on Monday, and that was, we need to worry about ourselves before we worry about the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers, all of whom, by the way, won their games during the Bengals bye weekend. Obviously, the Ravens blowing out the Lions, the Browns getting a fortunate victory over the Indianapolis Colts, and the Steelers holding on for a win over the LA Rams on the road. Zach Taylor saying that we have to be worried about our own style of play, cutting down on the mistakes, and being disciplined. He also said the last 2 years in wins after the bye week, the first week after the bye, the Bengals have played the Las Vegas Raiders, won that game, played the Pittsburgh Steelers, won that game, and that, of course, was last year. And those 2 games seem to springboard the team into the second half of the season. Obviously, we still have 11 weeks to go in the season, but Zach Taylor is hoping for a similar result this time around. Well, the Bengals are going to have Tuesday off, and then they'll be back on the practice field here on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday practices. Then they leave on Saturday for the West Coast and take on the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best teams in the NFL in the first 6 weeks of the season. Of course, the Bengals will also have an opportunity to watch the 49ers on Monday Night Football as they travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Maybe that has some impact and a little bit of advantage for the Bengals coming into Sunday's game, because the 49ers, even though they'll be at home, they will be on short rest, and the Bengals will be coming off their bye week. We'll have you completely covered on clnsmedia.com. Be sure to click on clnscincy.com, a brand new website that is up and running, promoting CLNS media content. Also follow me on my YouTube page, youtube.com/JungleRoarPod. And as always, follow me on Twitter @Trags, TRAGS. Outside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.